Welcome to the first webcast in the How to Get Published series for authors. The goal of this presentation is to provide you with some background information on academic publishing and outline the important steps you need to follow when preparing your manuscript. The peer review process was first used in the 17th century in the philosophical transactions of the Royal Society. As you can see in the graph, showing the number of journal titles which were launched and are still being published, the concept of evaluating articles by experts in the field continues to be a popular practice, and the number of peer-reviewed journals continues to grow. To give you an idea about the volume of articles we're talking about and the work involved in their publication, let's look at this illustration of the publishing cycle at Elsevier. For example, nearly 10 million articles are currently archived in our system. Depending on the journal, up to 90% are rejected by one of the 7,000 editors that we work with. Those articles that are not rejected up front will undergo peer review, and currently we work with around 500,000 reviewers in evaluating those articles. Overall, nearly 500,000 articles are in the end accepted by the editors each year and produced, which means that they're typeset, posted online, linked to various external platforms like PubMed, promoted to the appropriate audience, and of course archived for future use. You should consider publishing your research if you have information that significantly advances understanding in a specific research field. This could take the form of presenting new original results or methods, rationalizing, refining, or reinterpreting published results, reviewing or summarizing a particular subject or field. You should not consider publishing yet if your report lacks scientific interest or does not substantially advance the field, if the work is outdated, if you would be duplicating previously published work, or if your conclusions are incorrect or not acceptable. A strong manuscript and message is crucial in order to present your contributions to the scientific community. So what makes a strong manuscript? Well, first, the scientific message must be clear, useful, and exciting. The message should be presented and constructed in a logical manner. The reader should arrive at the same conclusions as the author. And the format chosen should best showcase the material. Readers, reviewers, and editors should all be able to easily grasp the significance of the research. The more effort you put into a manuscript up front, the more likely it is to be accepted. There are various types of manuscripts that suit different purposes. First, there are full-length articles, and these are the most frequently occurring type. They are often substantial, complete, and comprehensive pieces of research which are of significance. Short communications or letters are quick and early communications of significant original advances. These tend to be much more brief than full-length articles. And finally, review papers summarize recent developments on a specific topic, highlighting important points that have been previously reported and introducing no new information. These are often submitted after invitation by an editor. You should first self-evaluate your work. Is it sufficient for a full-length article, or are your results so thrilling that they should be shown as soon as possible in a short communication? Your supervisor or colleagues are good sources for advice on manuscript type. Sometimes outsiders can see the situation more clearly than you. Citations for the different article types also vary. This chart shows the difference in treatment and usage of the article types. Review articles tend to be much more highly cited and over a longer period of time than full-length articles or short communications. When considering where you should submit your work, the impact factor can give guidance but should not be the sole reason to submit to a journal. The impact factor tells you how many times on average the papers in one journal are cited, but it does not give an indication about a single paper. The impact factor can be influenced by the editorial policies of journals and the turnover of research in a certain field. For example, more recent citations will be made in a very fast subject area like genetics. We also just saw that review articles are generally better cited, so journals publishing only review articles tend to have higher impact factors as well. Investigate all candidate journals on elsevier.com to find out their aims and scope, accepted types of articles, readership, and current hot topics. You can do this by visiting their homepage on the publisher's website and by going through the abstracts of recent publications. It's really important to select an appropriate journal so that your work will reach the intended audience. If your paper is outside the scope of a journal, it will likely be rejected immediately by the editor. Ask for help from your supervisor or colleagues when you're deciding where to submit. They may be more familiar with the different journals, and your supervisor, who's often a co-author, has responsibility for your work too. It's very important that you do not gamble by submitting your manuscript to more than one journal at a time. International ethics standards prohibit multiple or simultaneous submissions, and the editors do find out. Articles in your references will usually lead you directly to the right journal, so look there first. Each journal typically has a guide for authors with specific details for the preparation of manuscripts. Apply the guide for authors to your manuscript, even to the very first draft. It can help you with the text layout, reference style, nomenclature, figures, and tables, and other important items. It will save your time, along with editors and reviewers. To summarize the steps to take before even beginning to write your paper, first, determine if you're ready to publish your work by analyzing the significance of your achievements. Then, decide the best type of manuscript, short communication, full original article, or review paper. Next, choose the target journal that is the most appropriate and has the right level of audience and prestige for your level of work. Finally, check the guide for authors of your target journal and get the details about manuscript preparation. Thanks for tuning into this webcast about preparing your manuscript. For more information or to watch other webcasts in the How to Get Published series, please visit our website.